What's up, everybody? Thank you again for joining me on a Supplement Sunderday, a day of the week that we have made up that's either falling on a Saturday or Sunday, where we're getting together to go over a supplement that I have researched during the week and something I was never taught in pharmacy school. So let's get right to it today. What are we talking about? We're talking about Garcinia cambogia, Garcinia cambogia. And this was a catchphrase in America not too many years ago, where this really was a popular supplement for weight loss. However, it does many more things other than just the weight loss. So what is it? What is this Garcinia cambogia? Okay, this is a fruit that comes off of a tree, and it's also called the Malabar tamarind. This fruit is harvested during the rainy season, and that is when it turns this greenish, reddish, yellowish color, and it is native to the Southeast Asia area, Indonesia. It is more of a catchphrase in the weight loss industry than anywhere else that I've ever heard of it. All right, so let's get into my fun fact already. So in Asia, where this is a native plant, this is used for the rind in a sense that we use lemon rind. So it gives this sharp flavor. So in cooking dishes, curries, sauces, they use it on meats. They also add salt to it, and it preserves foods. So especially fish, they use this as a preservative for fish. Now in America, where we see this most often is in like a tea form or in a supplement form. All right, now let's get into how this thing works. Well, as always, there is an active ingredient in the rind of this fruit, and that is what we were after, right? That's always what we're after. So in this instance, the rind of the Garcinia cambogia is up to 30% its weight in hydroxycitric acid. So this hydroxycitric acid would be our active ingredient. And the reason why is because it blocks an enzyme in our bodies called adenosine triphosphate citric lyase. That's quite a name. But again, when we get back to why this works in weight loss, what this enzyme does, it has everything to do with blocking lipogenesis. And what that means is making fat in our bodies. Instead, what it does is it promotes fat oxidation, which is the breaking down of fat in our body. Now, another thing that it does in our body, it increases our levels of serotonin. And we all know how important serotonin is in so many things that go on in our body. But in the weight loss realm, when we can increase that serotonin level, that has everything to do with controlling our appetite. So it decreases our appetite and actually gives us a satiated feeling. All right, now let's get into what this thing does. How does all this transfer into our health picture? What does this do in our body? Well, we talked about the fat oxidation part of it, right? So let's get right into the blood fat levels. In study results, this has been shown to really decrease our lipid profile in a number of ways. So when we talk about triglycerides, when we talk about LDL levels and HDL levels, and even our total cholesterol counts, it all has positive effects on those lipid levels. And this would be why. In these studies, scientists found that the fat metabolites that are excreted in our urine were up 125 to 258%. That's substantial. Next thing, it decreases leptin levels in our bloodstream. Now, leptin is something that I have not talked about before. What it is, it's a protein or a hormone that is produced by our fat cells. So when we have these decreased levels of leptin, it has everything to do with regulating our appetite and how our body stores fat. So it's this balance between food intake and energy expenditure. Third thing, another hormone in our body, insulin, right? Insulin. It has been shown to decrease the levels of insulin floating around in our body, which is huge because that makes it more sensitive, which is exactly what we want. So all of that translates just into a better blood sugar picture. Fourth thing, inflammation, decreasing inflammation. And we talk about this every week because it's that important. And why? I can't hear you. Why is that such a big deal? Because level, how does that go? because low levels of inflammation because low-grade chronic inflammation leads to a higher risk of chronic disease. Repeat after me. Case in point, in studies they have shown that this actually has a lot to do with stomach ulcers, and that has to do with keeping that inflammation down in our gut lining, the whole thing. And the last thing we're gonna go over on this Garcinia cambogia, it has iron in there. There's an iron content in there. So it helps our body produce more red blood cells and fights against anemia. Oh, and one more thing, our bonus thing, because it's got flavonoids in there, and flavonoids are antioxidants, right? So that increases our oxidative stress in our body. Another thing we cover every week. Okay, now let's just circle back to this weight loss thing. Again, in America, this is where we see Garcinia cambogia marketed. It's for weight loss. Now, when you look at some of these studies, it's a mixed bag. Some studies, they showed success rates. Some studies, they didn't. But from one source that I found, they did find success rates when it was paired with chromium. And I bet you might remember what other product Plexus has that chromium is in. And these studies also suggested that people lost belly fat. And belly fat is so important for our health picture because it is a risk factor when it's carried around that area for so many other disease states. All right, now let's get into precautions. Like I have said before, when we have a supplement that is improving our picture in all these areas, it can be a double-edged sword you need to remember. So if you are on diabetic medication, because this can change your insulin picture, you would want to be aware of that. You may end up getting off one of your diabetic medicines. And because of the iron content there, if you're supplementing with iron, you may be getting too much. And again, because it has to do with our serotonin levels, many people treat prescription-wise for depression. So you'd want to be aware of that if you're on a medication for anxiety or depression. And the last one you'd need to be cautious of would be the statins, anything you're using to lower your cholesterol, because this has been shown to lower fats in your blood. And as always, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you are better off steering clear. The other thing would be liver damage. Now, the studies that I saw, they were dosing this so insanely high as a single source product, and that is where they were really showing problems with liver damage. However, if you have a compromised liver or if your liver enzymes are high, that's something you'd need to keep in mind. All right, now the best part, let's talk Plexus. All right, there's one product that this Garcinia cambogia is in, where it is paired with chromium, and you've probably figured that out. It is our Slim, and here it is, Slim, Plexus Slim. And don't let the name fool you. Yes, it can help with weight loss. It can be a great tool in that arena for so many different reasons, but it does have the Garcinia cambogia in here paired with the chromium that is fantastic for balancing our blood sugars, which is fantastic to help folks lose weight if their body needs to lose weight. This is Plexus's cornerstone product for a reason. And if you don't know anything about it, it's time to watch the video I have linked in the description box that goes over all the ingredients in this product and what they do for our body, what they do for our health picture. So if you are not on the Plexus train yet, please learn more about this. I've also included my link in the description box. So if you are ready to learn more about how to get to your best health, let's do it together. Let me help you. Thanks again for joining me on another Supplement Sunderday, and cheers to your health and happiness.